there of how to condition you to react a certain way. You know, so we have a HugS versus MacD.
It looks like hand warmers right now.
Yeah. So what's it called? So you've been here for a very long time in SoCal,
yes,
playing Melee. So and you've seen this countless number of times. What do you have to say about this matchup in general between MacD and HugS?
There was a long time where MacD would usually win. I think over the past 6 months, roughly around then, HugS has been winning. He at least won once at the last time I recall watching them play. And he did pretty convincingly too. I'm not sure if they played since then. I think still, if we were to look at overall history in the past year or past 2 years, it's quite MacD favored. But
so what does MacD do compared to other Peaches that against HugS, so he can beat HugS consistently, pretty much, or almost consistently?
MacD is really good at making you want to commit to things that aren't safe. If I had to point out one strength of his it's that. Like, he'll float at you, make himself look kind of vulnerable, then just do this perfectly spaced forward air to beat you out. Stuff like that. Last time they played, though, yeah, I think HugS just two-stocked him twice or something. Or at least, that probably wasn't the last time they played, but at an SSS a while ago, that happened.
Yeah, you have like for those matchups in which it's kind of uneven, like you usually see players like win 10% of the time against the worst matchup, you know. So it's really hard. It's really like you really have to have perseverance. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, so HugS requested a neutral start. He really likes to do that.
And that is a player's right. Any player's rights. It's a unilateral right.
Yes.
Correct. Yes. That's why I learned recently actually.
Although Sheridan said NorCal got rid of that rule. But in most places, it's still the norm.
Gotcha. Well, Foundry still has that rule because NMW, the Captain Falcon main, always does neutral start, and he always gets the right because it's a unilateral right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a charge shot by Hugo. Looking very good for Hugo right now. He has a slight lead. So any attack into a charge shot should kill at that percentage.
It's difficult to combo into it, but
definitely. But I think if you can like forward tilt to a fully charged shot, then it's not really like 100% guaranteed, but it seems like a good chance of hitting.
The way you typically see Samus's land charge shots on Peach is they call her float out and just jump into it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Samus versus Peach, but I definitely see what you're talking about. We have a what's it called? That turnip by Peach is actually when she throws it down is really effective, like against Samus's Samus's recovery. Would you say so?
It covers it decently well. If you can steal the grappling hook, that's a pretty big deal. A lot of the time, HugS will just wait for that. He'll air dodge into the projectile, just take the hit, and then grapple. Although the first time we saw that, at least, he just grappled under the turnip anyways.
Yeah. I see. Oh, so that was beautiful patience by HugS, just waiting for the down smash because he knows MacD is all about the Mac down smash, you know?
Yeah, he always does that. He always has. He possibly always will.
Possibly will always will.
It's been years and he still does it.
It is in his Twitch name. It is in his Twitch channel name.
That is true. Okay, HugS with an accidental up smash. That's the third one I've seen in recent memory.
Do you think it's a controller error or it's just...
That's my guess.
Yeah.
I see little reason to up smash aside from controller errors.
Yeah, because HugS doesn't usually do that, you know? He doesn't usually accidentally up smash in the past anyways, from what I've seen 6 months ago. Yeah.
That's the second time he's done today, and the first time he lost a double set because of it.
Oh no! Oh, I wasn't watching that, but that sounds tragic, very tragic. Actually, in one of the singles matches, like not this tournament, but another tournament, did he accidentally up smash like against Westballs? Was it? Lucky. Oh god, that was what a heartbreaker right there, real heartbreaker.
Okay.
Good recovery, but what's it called? MacD still got him.
Yeah, there's a pretty long recovery. It's fairly typical of Samus and floaty matchups. He just spends a decent chunk of the match off stage.
Exactly. Yeah, it can make the match really, really take a while. But then, as long as you have good patience, then you'll do fine. You'll do fine. I think the main thing for these characters is that you shouldn't go off the stage just to edge guard them because Peach has really good recovery, while Samus, she can just recover pretty fast onto the stage with the grapple, from what I've seen. Okay, HugS being pretty patient, just waiting for MacD to throw out a move. Okay,
Yeah, he's been getting a lot of up Bs on MacD, but I don't think MacD necessarily minds them much because getting hit by Samus's up B as Peach usually isn't a huge deal. It's damage. Damage does matter, but it's not nearly as bad as what a lot of other characters have to deal with.
Exactly.
Like fast fallers typically get tech chased off of up B.
Exactly, and also space animals, it's more efficient just to build up damage, like compared to like Peach, where like you have to have her over like 120 or 130% just to have a good solid hit kill her, you know, from the middle of the stage at least.
And charge shot will do it earlier, but it's not always easy to get a charge shot, nor is it easy to land one.
Oh no, very hard, very hard. Oh, nair through the second turnip.
He's done that at least once before this game too.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful nair, full up nair right there. Well, I don't know, it just feels like MacD's doing better in the neutral game, so at least so far. But let's oh.
Yeah, HugS getting a lot of hits, but he's not getting many high damage ones. Granted, that's just how the matchup goes. Neither character punishes each other tremendously.
Yeah, that's true. So you just have to, like you said, they spend most of the time off stage, especially at a higher percentage. Oh, okay. So HugS punished the forward air with an up B. That was oh, that's just what you said. That's just what you said, Fly. That was beautiful charge shot right there. Beautiful charge shot. My God, I bet MacD felt the energy shot in his face right there. That was beautiful.
Okay.
I love you, MacD.
It's FD, fairly typical anti-Samus level.
Oh yes, very much so. So the lack of platforms, like, how would you say it will like really disadvantage Samus?
It makes her up B a lot less safer because she can't edge cancel it. Pretty much whenever she hits somebody with up B, maybe not necessarily pretty much whenever, but a lot of the time when she hits somebody with up B, the other character can just wiggle out of tumble and hit her with something. Oh
God, yeah, it seems pretty it seems pretty much a bad situation for Samus in the overall scheme of things. But well, we have HugO actually doing pretty well, right? Until he got down smash, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Commentator's curse. Definitely
SDI to downwards.
Oh, MacD could have gotten that nair, I think.
Yeah.
Just slow on reaction right there. It's interesting.
That keeps happening. That's the second time in the context of recovery that MacD threw a turnip upwards, and HugS just neutral air through it and also hit MacD in the process. So there are a number of things MacD could do instead. Like, for example, he could maybe call it next time, pull a turnip, and instead of throwing it, he could float and just up air, because that'll beat Samus's neutral air.
I never thought of that in terms of his point of view. Interesting.
Yeah, the float allows him to not throw the turnip, so that's the rationale behind that.
Interesting. Okay, HugS tried to punish that with a down air, but MacD dash attack instead with a fair to a turnip. But HugO again, like he nared, pretty much nared straight through, hitting him. We have HugO being cornered, but HugO dash attacked out of it. What's called challenging MacD's reaction right there. That was good. And we have, I don't know what was MacD trying to shield right there. He kind of stopped a little bit.
I didn't quite see.
Yeah.
Okay, so forward smash is kind of a strange move choice by MacD, but it is one of the moves Peach has on the ground that hits decently far above and in front of her sometimes. And Peaches like it against Jigglypuff for similar reasons.
Although it doesn't kill them. That's the only problem. Oh, we have a...
This should be it.
Oh, yeah. Well, MacD got, what's it called? Is in a great situation. He has a stitch face after the
and Samus is actually really bad at handling stitch faces. Her shield doesn't hold up too well. Her roll is bad. She's not great at defending herself against stitch faces.
Wow. Okay, so we have HugO who brought it back, but he's still 56% below or behind rather of yeah, he got punished out of that, especially when Peach is at lower percentage, right?
Yeah, although even at higher percentages, a lot of the time it still is unsafe.
I see. It's kind of like Daryl, like, what's it called? He wrecked Washington when he traveled over there, but he got wrecked by Bladewise because Bladewise just knew what to do against Samus matchup for some reason.
And Bladewise also played ESAM at Apex 2014, I think it was. And he won mostly because he pulled a lot of turnips and got a lot of stitch faces.
Oh, that luck right there, that luck. Yeah. Do you think stitch faces are technically like somewhat intentional, as in like maybe there's like a set pattern or something like that, like
it's
like a
not
certain
remotely predictable. Every little input you do influences what you're going to get. Even the inputs the other person is doing has an influence on what turnips will be pulled.
Yeah.
So it's not really something that's remotely in the realm of manipulation.
I see. Especially with our current way of thinking.
Yeah, it's also a little under 1 out of 58 odds of getting a stitch face in general. It's that times 127 over 128.
So would you say that
it's not something remotely manipulatable?
I see. But you would say that our model it's just mostly lucky then, right?
Yeah, it's part luck, but it's also the fact that if you pull a lot of turnips, you're more likely to pull stitch faces.
That's very true. I've heard that before also.
Okay. And MacD cut his double jump short while recovering there with the down air. It's kind of an old Peach trick. When they want to land on stage faster.
How old is old?
I think I saw it first in 2009. The Mexican Peach player X did it a lot.
Oh,
HugS air dodge too high.
That's great edge guarding by MacD, because what's it called? HugS was supposed to DI down in order to not get pushed up into another area by Peach. But I guess wasn't it possible to escape that?
It's hard to smash DI out of. I've heard people say smash DI to the side is good, but Peach can just float after that. Some people say downwards, but that's kind of hard. You need to smash DI a lot of things downward.
Gotcha.
Hey, Bizarro, do you want to wait out this whole set before you play your losers match, or do you want to play now? I'll take over for you if you want.
Wait, how many more sets? How many more?
Best of 5.
Oh, okay, I'll just play right now. Just get over with. Yeah. All right. Unfortunately, stream I have to get out. But then, like I said before, like I have a special announcement on Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific time at my stream. So yeah, dude, come check it out. It's gonna be great. But yeah, dude, thank you very much for commentating with me, Fly.
Okay.
I'll catch you later. Okay.
Okay. Later. Okay, so HugS goes to a small stage, one that lets him use up B more effectively. Considering just the overall density of platforms on this level, a lot of random places where you might want to up B will be in a position where he'll be able to edge cancel it. Okay. Yeah. I guess my overall summary of the first talk was, so far MacD has been descending on HugS a lot, and HugS has been trying to read that or react it with mixed results. Like right there, he called MacD's descent with the up tilt, but MacD got the forward air out first, which is kind of a typical MacD thing to do. He just gets hitboxes out earlier, spaces a little bit better. So you might think you have a good read, and you might even have a loose idea of what's going to happen, but you just don't predict it quite well enough to actually beat what MacD's going to do. Okay. So MacD likes to float kind of high like that. It's against a lot of characters, the rationale behind that is that it's a little bit over the character's shield grab range. Against Samus, that's not a real threat, so I don't think it provides as much of an advantage. It does let you at least be over normal forward tilt height, although Samus can still do upwards forward tilts to beat that sort of thing. Okay. This is dangerous. That almost hits. Yeah, Peach's down smash hits a little farther than it looks like it does. Okay. Lots and lots of rolls in a row. Sometimes it works if people don't expect it. It's something Ken used to do, actually. Just roll back and forth 4 or 5 times.
It's something that Peach has a really hard time dealing with. Samus kind of too. You have to really like read it and anticipate it to do any sort of meaningful punish.
Anticipate what to get a meaningful punish?
The rolls.
Oh. A lot of other Peaches will just float really high. This MacD would rather just maintain center stage throughout the invincibility.
Yeah.
That should be it. Yeah, and that is one of the downsides that Samus has on this level, where little relatively weak edge guard screens like that Samus will live elsewhere.
I'm surprised MacD allowed that DI to combo him to death.
Okay, HugS pulling the floats. One of Samus's favorite counters to float approaches is just to jump forward in neutral air. Okay, that's the second time that MacD double jabbed HugS shield and HugS spot dodged afterwards. Kind of an interesting response that MacD can take note of.
Would you like to see him do a fair into direct grab?
Yeah, that can work. I haven't actually seen him do that many forward airs that close on shield. That should be a neutral air. Oh, good air dodge.
And MacD just threw away a Stitch just not too long ago.
I do not agree with that. Okay.
And he loses stage there too.
And this is a really dangerous position to be in. In addition to the obvious reasons, back air and neutral will kill him. MacD just goes for it. And it's 2-1 MacD.
I actually kind of like that back air in that spot.
Yeah, it's an interesting response to an interesting call on Samus's bomb.
Yeah, because eventually they're going to either have to, take the bomb and recover high, which MacD will hit, or he doesn't take the bomb and he just dies.
Okay, so HugS is doing his jabs, so MacD got at least one crouch cancel in there, and that's kind of why you don't see as many rapid jabs nowadays. A lot of people have realized, oh, I can just crouch cancel, or even just drop shield and smash DI down and punish the jab strings. Okay, MacD, that hasn't worked yet so far, but as I remarked at the start of this, then MacD still does it a lot. Every now and then good players will fall for it.
And once again, that preemptive up tilt gets caught there.
Yeah, it's just, up tilt has a lot of startup. It's something that needs to be, at least in the context of keeping somebody from getting back to center stage, a lot of the time it needs to be very precise. You have a little more leniency with it when you have people off stage, because they're less able to hit you then. But yeah, in this sort of context, Peach can get very relevant and threatening hitboxes out pretty quickly. Forward smash is an interesting decision to try to cover the up B. I don't think it's necessarily the best though, because it doesn't hit all that low unless you angle it downwards.
And he goes getting a lot of mileage out of that strong back air hit.
Yeah, it's really good for killing floaties. It's a good kill move in general.
Yeah, I'm surprised at the knockback.
Okay, so forward air. HugS gets hit out of it, but that's not even necessarily that bad for him because he has a pretty solid lead. And trades like that don't work. They are not necessarily bad for him. Because if you just keep having trades, long-term it'll favor you.
Especially, yeah, when you have a lead.
Well, yeah, that's why it favors. Okay.
Sorry if you mentioned that already.
Okay, HugS wanted to grab there. It's kind of a very typical situation for him to grab in. And a lot of the time it works. It's just that he barely got hit by MacD's jab.
Ooh, good tech there.
MacD's doing lots of aggressive edge guards these last couple of games. That one I think was a bit of a stretch though.
At this point, I would think he would want to go on the Turnip lottery and hopefully, get a Stitch base or something, because he can't really trade hit for hit.
Yeah, that really is the most viable way of making a comeback on Samus. Just get this move that kills her in 4 hits.
But it's looking good. He already racked up 78 to HugS 30% that he's gone on the stock. But it's so hard to, get clean hits without trading.
He hits the Shy Guy, but he air dodges too high.
So it's 2-2. What were the first 2 stages? So we saw Yoshi's twice.
Let's see. First one, I want to say was Battlefield, I think. So game 2 was definitely FD. 3 and 4 were Yoshi's. Now we're on Dreamland. Okay, and HugS wants a neutral start.
And this is going to be tough because that back air killed at 90 to 115 on Yoshi's. I'm not sure what percentage it kills on this stage.
Yeah. Peach generally isn't amazing at killing Samus either, though. So Peach probably is better at edge guarding Samus than vice versa, but I'm not positive on that.
Good. And HugS is calling out MacD's approach is very hard so far in the stock.
Yeah. And one of the advantages that MacD could use the stage for would be pulling more turnips, but he's just been on the offense the whole time. And just in general, being on the offense the whole time, a lot of the time is kind of questionable against Samus, just because she's a character who loves retreating, loves intercepting approaches. So I feel like doing that too much is playing into Samus's hands to an extent.
This is actually a really clean stock by HugO. Finding the necessary counter to whatever MacD throws. Even a fair to down smash is getting stuffed by HugO's up B's shield.
Yeah, it's the move. I mean, up B is invincible on frame 1, so it'll beat a lot of things.
racked up a decent 20 damage there from not giving HugS a free ledge.
Yeah. Typically, if you want to do something that'll punish up B, you need to block it because it doesn't actually, up B doesn't actually hit until frame 4.
It's kind of a mix-up situation because we saw, Leffen try to abuse the run-up shield, and HugO was calling it out with the grabs.
Yeah, that's the main mix-up there. Grab versus up B. Oh, we have a Stitch face. Oh, okay. So this might be how MacD.
I would say he needs to get 2 hits here to make good use, but I thought he was going to try to grab it.
It's pretty dangerous to try to do that. Yeah, I think HugS just realized a lot of the time when Peaches do have Stitch faces, they'll be a little picky about when they throw it. So he probably just said, okay, you're not going to throw it, you're just going to fly at me.
Fortunately, you can begin to take those up B hits at this percent. 155 and 170 don't make much of a difference.
Okay. So MacD is doing some little things better. He didn't run into the forward smash that HugS threw out in anticipation of an approach.
Until you get a reset, unless HugS can really capitalize on MacD recovering on the stage, but I haven't really seen it so far.
There wasn't really much reason for them to still hit. I think MacD just wasn't prepared for it.
Okay.
Ooh, that was nice.
We saw a standoff there where MacD wisely shielded.
Yeah, because I suppose there is some danger associated with that because, like you said earlier, Samus can grab, and at low percentages, Samus can do things like down throw to dash attack and neutral air, which is a non-trivial thing. But I think it's additionally a good call on MacD's part because he hasn't been doing that much this set, so that's not an option that was probably really on HugS' mind.
And just in general, I think the really reactive players, they listen for that Samus grapple, and then they just immediately jump. And I feel like it's a very reactable...
it's active on frame 18, I think.
Yeah, so you have a good, almost a third of a second. I'm really liking that, aside from messing up there, that he's racking up low damage and pressuring HugO at least to not get a free stage. Wow. Yeah,
it's kind of like the use of Edge Guarding in Brawl, where it's more to rack up damage than it is actually get a kill.
Yeah.
Oh, MacD could have just neutralized that ledge jump, but regardless, HugO dies. I don't even really mind that down smash that much, just use it to shove HugS away a little bit.
I don't really like HugO's waiting. When MacD throws something slightly laggy but HugO's unsure, he's not really contesting and risking, getting down smash or some shenanigan. He's just holding the stage.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that people often struggle with against MacD.
Yeah, because you just want to go in and then you get hit and then you're dead.
Yep. Yeah, that's another thing we've seen throughout the set, where if HugS thinks MacD is going to do something low to the ground, he'll do a short hop neutral air and fastball onto him.
And those down smashes have been really good, where once in a while, HugO throws out that, those up tilts and MacD hits it, but other times he'll, wave dash back, down smash, and then he catches the forward air when MacD lands. I don't think HugO's landed one this entire game. I think it's like 0 for 4 or 0 for 5.
On charge shots?
Yes.
He ended the first game with one.
But I mean,
of the ones you've watched, I don't think he's landed one.
Yeah, but at least in this particular game.
That's clever. Because he realized if he landed on stage without invincibility, he would have been in a really dangerous situation. So he said, "Okay, I'm just gonna up B you."
It seems like sorry to interrupt, but when MacD is threatening fair, it seems like HugO's really fading back, and I feel like MacD can really abuse the Turnip lottery and see if he can pull something really good. Instead, he's opting to just go in a lot of the times.
Yeah, you can almost use it like a stadium transformation, because there's no way Samus is coming close anytime soon if he's in a position like that. All right. Okay. Oh, that could be really bad.
I was going to say I didn't like him on that platform. Do you think he was going for a shield drop?
I am not sure. I didn't see him angling his shield a lot. Well, on the roll?
Yeah.
Quite possibly. A lot of people do angle the shield to the side first, and that can become a roll if you hit too hard. I don't really think HugS wanted to roll. Samus's rarely do.
This is still very manageable for MacD. Ooh.
Okay, so just depleting that charge on means a lot, but unfortunately for MacD, HugS can charge it again because Peach 2 takes forever to get back on stage. Okay, so hopefully MacD takes note of the jump charge shots. That is probably the most common way that Samus land charge shots on Peach. So if MacD spaced that a little bit better, he could have forwarded him.
That was really solid by HugS to win that.